Real-time effects. Continuing on our catch-up track for new features in Audacity 3.x, we'll explore real-time effects in this edition of Stuart's Audacity Tips. This edition of SAT is somewhat of an ancient navigational map. You know, the ones with "Here be dragons" written near the edges. There is much to entice, but also danger ahead. So share with your fellow audiofarers. There is safety in numbers. One of the complaints that some people have had about Audacity for quite a while now is that its approach to adding effects is destructive. Somewhat like destructive editing, when you apply an effect to audio in Audacity, the selected audio is altered, and the original audio is lost. If you want to undo that effect, you must do so immediately, or be willing to undo several steps of work if you decide to undo it later. This isn't usually a big problem for VO production since we don't tend to use a lot of effects when producing a dry VO parts. But for those who are doing more extensive production, like podcasts or radio shows, it can be difficult to plan carefully so effects don't get in the way of the production workflow. However, as of Audacity 3.2, that's all changed. Effects can now be applied to a track instead of a piece of selected audio. And what's more, that effect can be modified or removed at any time. The original audio on the track is not altered by applying the effect. Let's take a look at how this works. For starters, it's important to note that the effects used in real time are not the same effects found on the effects menu. Real-time effects must be downloaded and added to Audacity before you can use them. The good news is that there are a number of suites and individual effects available for all platforms, Mac, Windows, and Linux. If you look at the track header in Audacity 3.2 or later, you'll see the Effects button. You can click this button to open the real-time effects dialog on that track. You can also get to this dialog using the Add Real-Time Effects command on the Effect menu or pressing the E key. When you click the Add Effect button, you'll get a list of available effects. If nothing appears there, you need to download one or more real-time effects, then close Audacity, run the new effects installer, and start Audacity again. If you have effects installed on your system from other tools, for example Isotope RX, Audacity will find them and make them available on the Real-Time Effects dialog. And this is where the danger comes in. Warning: always save your project before attempting any use of real-time plugins. Plugins are the Wild West when it comes to audio processing right now, and some of them may crash Audacity when you attempt to use them. Even though Audacity does a very good job of recovering projects from crash sessions, it's always best to save the project before attempting to use real-time plugins. To add an effect to a track, select it from the list of available plugins and make any adjustments in the plugins dialog. Once a plugin is added to a track, you can turn it on and off with the power button on each effect. If you have multiple effects applied, you can turn all of them on and off with the power button at the top of the effects panel. One last tip: effects cannot be deleted from a track once they've been added, as of version 3.2.1. You can only turn them off. So that's how to set up and use real-time effects. Next time we'll compare an effect applied to the waveform, as we've always done in Audacity, with a similar real-time effect. I'm Stuart. Hope this helps.